to be true. Lots of companies use prize draws to promote their businesses, but according to our viewers, one in particular has left them confused.
Vital Beauty sells cosmetics by mail order catalogue, but some of its customers say they've been left with the impression they've already won a large cash prize. Our correspondent, Jonathan Gibson, has been investigating.
I'm on the trail of the health and beauty company, making the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Not because of the products it sells, just the way it sells them.
20,000, 11,500, and different amounts on these two.
I mean, we're obviously clearly... Anne Cutland from Cornwall was convinced she'd won some money when these official-looking letters arrived through the post. She thought the personalised documents from health and beauty firm Vital Beauty proved she was a winner. In reality, all she'd actually won was entry to a free prize draw.
Or, for want of another word, it's very cheeky. It's easy to fall into their trap. It's very nice to think you are going to win X, Y, Z. I mean, we're all human, but it's very misleading. You have to read the small print.
And it's the prominence of the small print which has got Vital Beauty into trouble before. 3 years ago, the catalogue company, which had prompted a catalogue of complaints, was ordered by the Office of Fair Trading to stop misleading customers into thinking they'd won a large cash prize when they hadn't.
Should
we have a look?
Yeah.
Anne Coleman from Cheltenham isn't happy either. She received letters from the company after it promised to clean up its act.
Confidential announcement of the proceedings report. Yes, Mrs. A. Coleman from Cheltenham, you have officially won a super prize.
Do you feel you've been misled?
Definitely. I think they're disgraceful. And I just wish that somebody could stop them.
Were you convinced you'd won the prize?
Yes, I was. And I got myself working out what I would do with the money and what I could do with the money and how much for help it would be. Yes, I was convinced I'd won a prize.
You've received a number of... This is Tony Woodman from North Devon, another unhappy customer who also thought he'd won a prize.
I was dubious initially.
You've responded to a few of these. Have you got any money back?
None whatsoever.
Not a penny.
Not one penny.
Vital Beauty is the British arm of a Belgium-run firm with a PO box address in Romsey and a UK order line number. This is an extract of a mailing sent to Mr. Woodman. At first sight, yes, it looks like he's a winner, but look very closely at the bottom of the page and you'll see these words: free prize draw, no purchase necessary. When the Office of Fair Trading asked Vital Beauty to change its mailings, it agreed to print these words on each and every page. From the documents I've seen, it's doing just that, and the small print on the back clarifies procedures, but customers, it seems, are still getting confused, and when I phoned up the call centre, its staff admit that. Do you get lots of complaints about this issue?
Yes, we do.
So how many complaints are you getting?
I don't know.
Were you dealing with more than one a day? 10? Hundreds?
I don't know. People don't read the small print when they see the information come out.
Doesn't that suggest that the way in which the document is presented needs changing then?
Look, I'm not going to go into this any further.
Vital Beauty is a subsidiary of Agence de Marketing Applique, based at Mouscron in Belgium, and I'm on my way there. I've already managed to make contact with the company before leaving, and it's responded to my questions in writing, but no one will agree to be interviewed. Its promotional mail has been turning up without invitation on thousands of British doorsteps, so I've decided to turn up uninvited on its, hoping to speak to the boss, Stefan Ellick. This is the company's headquarters. Let's see if anyone's in. Well, I've just been told that Stefan Ellick, the boss, isn't in today. In fact, staff say they're not sure when he'll next be here at headquarters. But that's not entirely surprising. In fact, I've repeatedly asked Mr. Ellick for an interview. He did eventually say he'd consider my request, but only if he could decide which parts of the interview we actually used.
Well, Jonathan joins us in the studio now. Johnny, we may not have an interview with the boss, but what did he say in writing?
Well, he says that his company, AMA, takes all customer complaints very seriously and has and continues to comply with its obligations as set out in the Office of Fair Trading Undertaking. Now, on the allegation of misleading customers, he says that the company's mailing is an advertisement aimed at promoting Vital Beauty products and does not constitute an unconditional offer to pay a sum of money to the recipient. In my report, you saw me speaking to one of his call centre operators on the phone, but he denies getting lots of complaints. Of those calls which concern the prize draw, he says a large number relate to how the games work.
What are the people you've interviewed, what does it say about them?
Well, the company says it hasn't received any correspondence from Mrs. Coleman or Mrs. Cutland, and indeed wasn't aware of their cases until I raised them with it. However, it did send me a copy of a letter it sent to Mr. Woodman. It says explaining the prize draw rules, but it says it has no record of any of them actually returning the forms required. Therefore, they weren't put into the prize draw, and so couldn't win it.
So what's happening now then?
Well, the Office of Fair Trading says that it's continuing to monitor the activities of this company. The company, by its own admission, says that it sought advice from an organisation called the Committee of Advertising Practice. That's to try and make sure that its mailings do comply with the law. And the company, as we've seen from the call centre conversation that I had with it, certainly people are still getting confused, whether that's down to their own efforts or because they haven't understood the paperwork. It remains to be seen, really. I guess the message out of this whole sorry episode, really, is that if something sounds too good to be true, you really need to check the small print before you start celebrating.
Jonathan Gibson there.